So, what we have before you is an interview that was done by The Breakfast Club. And what I want to do with this time is paint a very clear Me Too picture that has clearly been overlooked, which I'm not understanding why, because it's as clear as day. But, you know, this is my first time doing this, so let's just see how it goes. Okay.
Power 105.1.
Ciao.
Power 105.1 is the Breakfast Club.
Now,
we have a special young lady with us today.
This is just out of control as far as I'm concerned.
Eva Pigford. How's it going?
Eva Marcel, right?
Actually, my name is Eva Marcel Pigford.
Okay.
But for when I started out as a model, the world knew me as Eva Marcel.
For some reason, I thought her name was always Eva Pickford.
See me as a model.
I thought Eva Marcel came later.
Oh, that's why you changed it. I couldn't figure out.
I'm like, am I crazy? Is this the Mandela effect, bitch? Is this what they mean? When history rewrites itself and it's like, when the fuck was this bitch Eva Marcel? I don't remember this bitch being Eva Marcel. I thought she was Eva fucking Pickford.
Hollywood's different, you know, as far as like the modeling world and the acting world, and, you know. Actually, the acting world kind of frowns upon models, so they wouldn't, no.
You're like the only person to ever prosper off that show.
Oh, thank you.
But see, to me, why is she saying thank you? She should be like, dang, that's a shame. So that kind of shows me she's like, oh, she thinks she cute because she's the only bitch that did it.
You know what, though? There was recently some backlash.
And then, of course, then later on, she gonna throw in, oh, yeah, you know, there's Yaya, whoever the girl is. She should have said that first. Like, no, I'm not the only one. You know, there's this one and there's that one.
What do you, I mean... The way I look at it is, it's your job to hustle. Tyra's not supposed to hustle for you.
True.
And the reason
so this also is a video to show Eva kind of being a little bit.
My dad's a hard worker, my mom's a hard worker.
It's not that I dislike her, but remember when I told y'all it was something about her I kept on my finger on?
Supposed to make you famous, or now it's supposed to make Karl Lagerfeld want to hire you for a campaign. It does not happen like that at all.
Right.
Okay, Eva, but you kind of being a little, I mean, I do agree with her overall, but I also feel like there's a certain air of arrogance to her statement, like, oh, you gotta hustle, you gotta grind. You don't think these bitches are hustling? You got lucky, bitch. You got lucky, bitch. Be thankful and count your lucky stars.
Who's some of the stars on there? I seen some.
Thank your lucky charms.
Denise Lawton is on there.
Yes, Niecy, that's my boo-boo from DC. Denise Lawton, beautiful actress, known best on House of Pain, but she's on a lot of films. Nikki Chu, she's an interior designer.
Yeah, Eva's doing a little bit much on this interview. I know for a fact I want to come for Charlamagne, but now that I'm watching it again,
Kelly Marie Dunn. She's our
because I'm gonna tell you why. She's gonna say something in a few seconds that kind of rubbed me wrong.
She does music. She started.
And maybe I'm tripping. I'm packing my ball or my bond.
Now she represents her own artist.
What's the show about?
It's about 4 girls in LA trying to live our dreams. We don't.
So basically, another reality show.
Real life.
It's real life. And I'm going to be real. I don't have a problem with the other reality shows. I'm a reality TV junkie. I watch everything from Honey Boo Boo to Housewives.
So she's about to be shady.
Baby, I live for Honey Boo Boo.
But she's doing the nice, nasty
thing. If she was black,
Child.
everybody would be up so
Like,
up in arms saying how
love
bad
her.
she is and such a bad representation. But since she's white, it's a phenomenon. Honey Boo Boo child.
Honey Boo Boo, okay.
Charlamagne said it, not me.
Okay, but you just finished saying that you loved
This show
her.
was just a
So
different show.
why are
It
you
shows women
being
of
contradictory?
color all together in a different light than you see. Not saying that the light you see is currently bad. I think it does represent a certain amount of people. It's just not me. You know,
It's controversial, though.
I mean, life is controversial.
Right.
So there's drama. We're girlfriends. So I'm going to give it to you real. I'll most likely say something to my girlfriend that I wouldn't say to someone else because we are friends. So you get your sense of drama, but it's like resolution with class. Like, we love each other. We got to mess with each other tomorrow, you know, like, I'm gonna see you again. So we don't throw drinks. It's not about, you know, name calling, dropping the biggest secrets. Oh, look who had an abortion. Like,
and yet look where we are today. See what happens, bitch. See what happens when you turn your nose up. It's like, bitch, bottom line, you doing a reality show, ho. And to me, you can put whatever spin you want on it, ho. Bottom line, you's just like all these bitches chasing a check, bitch, trying to secure a quote unquote bag. Sweetheart, you ain't no different. You ain't no different. And now, what show is she on? Atlanta Housewives doing what? Getting her secrets exposed. It's like, this bitch, this is what happens. Let this be a lesson to all within earshot of my voice. Do not ever think you are too good. It's like if you're going to do a reality show, do it. But then, it's like, okay, we're going to bring a different flavor to it. We're going to see what we do different, but you got to tune in. You got to tune in, but don't make it seem like, oh, ours is just so much better, because the reality of it is, bitch, what are you really doing? So basically you're doing the same thing, going to lunch, going to dinner, having drinks. Maybe you didn't toss them, but okay, what's different? Did we see her do New York Fashion Week on the show? Do we see her starting her business? Like, are we seeing what you actually do? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Eva, you're doing a little bit much.
It's not that kind of moment. It's about supporting each other, trying to do this.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so these are your friends in real life.
In real life, which makes it great to work with and horrible to work with.
Now listen to this.
Girls, you know what I mean? So you want to help put them on, and everybody.
For some reason, and maybe I'm overanalyzing. However, she just finished saying, oh, such and such a sister, better known. You probably know her from House of Pain. And, she's been in a whole lot of other movies. So clearly this bitch is already on. And who are you really to put someone on? No shade. I feel like unless it was really a totally unknown person, basically you're a C-list star too. Especially at this point. This was in 2012, or at least that's when they posted it. It could have been earlier than that. Who knows? But what I'm saying is for her, it's good and bad. You want to work with your friends because, blah, 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 blah. You want to help put them on, help put them on. Again, I could be overanalyzing, but it just feels like, bitch, okay, she's clearly, oh, honey, she is just completely and totally feeling herself. Oh, I want to help put them on, like she's just the savior that's just trying to do right. And she wants so badly. She needs to put these girls on. And as a result, she struggles because, I'm trying to put them on and we're friends, but I'm also their boss. Like, bitch, girl, bye. Now you're on a show where you're just a part of the ensemble. You ain't even been all that. And you're being read for filth. And I do think it's wrong how they're doing it. I would agree. But I'm just saying, now that I'm looking at this footage, I'm like, girl, this is a bitch that was feeling herself. And let's be clear, I do think you need to have a level of confidence, but it's just the way. I don't know. It's just the way. It's just the way. That's all. Is it the way you love me, baby? Yes. I don't know if it's just the way, but there's something about this bitch that is not sitting well within my soul. But let's just continue.
This thing together, but then because it's business and the person you are at work is not the same person you are at home, then you see me in a different hat dealing with my girls. But
so these are girls you talk to after you've gotten your back blown out. And you're like, girl, you had a big penis.
Now let's pause right there. Now we back to the Me Too. See, this is what I mean when I say, why is he asking her this? Because there was nothing sexual about the conversation. So it would be different if maybe there was a sexual conversation that organically came up. But for him to just come left field and say, oh, yeah, these are the kind of girlfriends that you call up and say, oh, I just got my back blown out. Let's listen again. Because I want to be clear, when I'm making a case, I want to outline very thoroughly the case that is being made. He's a Me Too. He is certainly a Me Too. I'm sorry. I don't understand why people have not put him on the Me Too train, but all these cancellations and the one bitch that is scheduled still has not met her fate. This bitch needs to be canceled. But, okay.
Is not the same person you are at
now
home.
Listen, out of the blue.
See me in a different hat dealing with my girls, but
so these are girls you talk to after you've gotten your back blown out. And you're like, girl, you had a big penis.
And you can see she's trying to play it off. Look at all of this. Look at all of this. Like, she's trying to play it off because it's that thing where it's like, oh, he is Charlamagne. We know how he is. So everyone, I feel like the female guests, look how it's inappropriate, period. It doesn't fit within the context of the conversation. He's being a creep. Let's just be clear. It's a rocket science. And so look at her. She's like, even though I feel she's being too much in this moment, I'm on her side because I feel like you're doing too much, Charlamagne. And she's trying to play it off. She's doing that thing that I feel a lot of women feel like they have to do where it's like, oh, you know, this is my chance. I'm getting my spotlight. I got my reality show to promote, and I don't want to get on his bad side. So I'm just going to roll with these punches and play it off. Like, girl, you so crazy. You so crazy. He is crazy. And he needs to be administered some pills, bitch, to balance out his electrons. Something ain't connecting, sweetheart. The connector is disconnected. And this bitch just don't got the memo yet. And so let's continue.
And that is all on
Look
the
at her.
show.
It is definitely all on the show.
Really?
Okay, that's where we were. So here what you see is she's pivoting. Taking the conversation away from his perversion and bringing it back to the conversation at hand, which is the show that she's there to promote. So she handled it as best as she could under the circumstances, being put on the spot, but still, and look at him, he has no remorse. He doesn't even think there's anything wrong. You could see he feels totally comfortable in his disposition, in his feeling that it is appropriate to say the type of girl. Like, it was just inappropriate. It made no sense. Had nothing to do with the conversation. So let's continue.
Friend is deprived. She needs peacock bad. That would be dick deprived. She is definitely in need of peacock. So try to set those up. Try to get little rabbits, little things to
Now,
pass the time.
Can I tell you
so
a
now
secret?
she's trying to be agreeable. What again? Like I feel like she really didn't really necessarily want to go there, but she didn't want to seem prude, you know. And I think maybe she knows well enough that if she doesn't answer it, he's gonna keep at it, because that's just how Charlamagne is. And I also want to make another statement, because I don't think I said this earlier. I've never seen this interview, and I addressed a lot of what I'm saying. I addressed it in my skit. I'm telling you, like I've been saying about this dude. Like, this dude is creepy. But let's continue.
Secret, Eva?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
One time I was with, I believe, all of us were together, me, Envy, and Charlamagne, and we were eating.
Oh, I remember this. Pink teacup.
At the Pink Teacup, and you were there, and Charlamagne was very flustered. He was like, "Oh my God, that's."
Was he really?
He was stuttering.
Listen, so he's like, "Oh
I
my
don't
God."
believe
He said, oh my gosh, oh my gosh,
Can I
oh
tell
my
my
gosh.
story, Charlamagne, without you interrupting? We let you talk,
This
all
true
right? Let
story.
me have the floor.
This is true story.
So Eva Pigford was there. He's very flustered. He didn't want to turn around, you know, because I say men are the new women. He was, oh, I don't want to turn around. She's
And
behind
I
me.
also feel like this is Angela trying to do PR control, because he was just being creepy. And now you have Angela, probably smart enough to know that he's being inappropriate. Now she wants to follow up with this cutesy story, because really the story in and of itself, because again, before, and when I said I've never seen this before, I want to be clear. I watched it before this, because that's what made me want to do the video. But prior to me watching it, moments before getting everything set up, I had never seen this. So I'm telling y'all what's happening. He's being a pervert. Angela's picking up on it. And to smooth it over, she wants to clean it up with this cutesy story. But watch how Charlamagne fucks it up.
She's behind me. So then we got up to leave, and you were like, Charlamagne, oh my God, I love you, you know.
And I
I've
said
seen
congratulations to you.
No, this is what really happened. That happened, and then Charlamagne,
See,
instead of
she don't want to talk about Charlamagne.
responding like, oh, thank you
now
so
see, that's
much.
where Angela went wrong. She's not paying attention. She's not paying attention. She don't want to talk about him. Oh, and I also congratulated you. Like, she's like, can we? Why? Like, okay.
You know, I love you too. Charlamagne goes, it's the rest of Breakfast Club. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Sure
That's
did.
exactly what he said.
And your
He didn't know what
announcement
to say.
just came out, so yes, I do.
So
made
now
fun of
it's
him for about a
smoothed over.
He was-
Everything is
and
starting
then-
getting
It was a little
copacetic again.
awkward.
Then he wanted to go.
She's still on edge, but this is just what I'm picking up. I don't know what y'all see, but this is what I'm seeing. She's still on edge because she still knows who she's dealing with. Let's rewind it a little bit so we can hear what happened. Okay, here we go.
You know, I love you too. Charlamagne goes, it's the rest of Breakfast Club. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what he
Now
said.
listen.
That's exactly what he
Listen.
said.
And your
He didn't know what
announcement
to say.
just came out, so yes, I do remember
And we made
that.
fun of him for about a good.
He was,
I mean,
and then
it was a little awkward.
then
you
he
know?
wanted to
You
go
out
back.
of all people, you were
Just
the
a little.
rawest ever.
Just a little bit. You know, they're exaggerating, but just
No,
a
he's
little.
not. No
And then
exaggeration.
he's like, well, what
Just a
should I
little.
have said? Well, what should I have done? Well, you think I should go back? And I was like, no, the moment is
It's
gone.
gone,
Yeah, because you know why? No. I'm gonna tell you why. Because in a moment like that, when I see him like, and she look good, first thing I want to say is I want to. But I couldn't say that because you know.
No,
Now they blanked it out. But what he said was, in a moment like that, what I really wanted to say is, I want to fuck you. He's a pervert. it would have been inappropriate for him to say it to her in that moment, which is why he didn't. And it was for sure inappropriate for him to even say it just now. She's a guest. Why are you saying to her that you wanted to tell her you wanted to fuck her? Why does that matter to her? Angela sat there and tried to tell this old empty story about how Charlamagne was so shy and bashful around Eva Pigford. Oh, I'm sorry, Eva Marcel. Eva Marcel, you know, she's so bashful, and oh my God, he couldn't even get his words out. He was stumbling over his words. And this nigga, even though he was already up for cancellation, did not get a fucking clue. Alicia Silverstone, okay, Stacey Dash, Brittany Murphy, girl, Paul Rudd. Girl, I'll give you the whole goddamn cast. Don't make me do it, is what I'm saying. And bitch, clearly, this is a Me Too. This is a Me Too bitch. I mean, if this is what he's doing on the show, I can't even imagine how he is off this camera. That's just my impression, because I feel like certainly you would want to, when you're in public, want to present yourself the best way you know how. And if this is the best presentation of who he is, you can be funny, you can be controversial, whatever you want to be, but you don't have to be offensive. You know, it's like, yeah, I started to say borderline. He's not even borderline. He done crossed the line, hopscotched, double dutched, okay, tap, dance, salsa, and merengue all over the goddamn motherfucking line. Let's just be clear. Let's just be clear. This nigga done already crossed the line. Let's continue.
No,
It wouldn't have been appropriate.
Say that.
Exactly.
Inappropriate.
But, you know, so I'm trying to.
So is that, you started stuttering?
Yeah.
Look at
I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to say what I wanted to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
you said it now.
Okay.
No, but I was saying, no, that was a hypothetical scenario.
Nigga, this
How
is,
should a man approach you,
this
Eva,
guy's-
since you're here?
now she's trying to pivot again.
Now
Oh,
let's land
God.
first.
Now, what would have
That's
been
what
the,
we
what would
wanna
have been? We'll get to that.
Well,
What
what
would
did
have
he
been the
just
right
say?
thing for Charlamagne to
Oh.
do at that moment?
You know what?
He didn't say
I'm
nothing
a
important.
real ballsy woman, so I like a man with even bigger balls. So I like very confident men. I like the man that comes over like, look, that's what you need in your life. You know,
I want to suck
like
a fart
that.
out your butt.
No.
Now, did y'all hear that? He said, I want to suck a fart out your butt. This guy is a pervert. I don't understand how can't people. What can't you see? This Mr. Potato Head, Chia Pet need to be watered looking bitch, is a Me Too in a can. I'm trying to tell y'all what it is. You can put the lipstick over top of the pig. This nigga is still a pig. He harassed his female guests. I've never even seen this. Before I decided to do this, I had never seen this. Like, I watched it just moments before this. But prior to this, I never saw this. And so, to hear him say in this interview, I want to suck a fart, he said that to so many female guests. Because the interview I saw it was different. And not only just that, I've seen him say it multiple times. Multiple times. So, he is a fart sucking. Can I ask you about your girlfriends getting their backs blown out creeping? Mr. Potato Head having stalk of a man. And I'm calling his ass out because he needs to be called. He needs to be called. And that's just the bottom line. Because Stone Cold done said so. Let us continue.
Is she one of those? Is
not
she on that
crass.
level? Charlamagne? Is she on that level? For you?
No, I mean, no, she's not on that list. But I mean, I would if she happened to. Don't worry about it. It's a list I got.
Here's a list.
I got 5 girls who I want to suck a fart out their butt. It's Kelly Rowland,
Yep.
Serena
And look,
Williams.
she got to pretend like she gives a damn about this. I can promise you she don't give a fuck of this nigga's list of women who he will never have this opportunity, but feels the need to still make public his list of women that he'd like to suck a fart. from within their body out into his mouth. This is a pervert, and I'm making the case. You want to know what a pervert is? It's right here. It's all up in here. It's right here. And you want to know what the victim looks like? It's right here. It's all up in here. This is the victim. She don't have to admit it, but it's on camera, bitch. I don't need her to. I have eyes, bitch. I know what I'm looking at. She is pretending to be interested in this nigga's list of farts. Who he want to suck the fart from out of their butt. And she don't give a fuck about this list. But again, let us continue.
Jennifer Lopez.
That Serena, that was a big old fart.
Stacey Dash.
Now she got to,
Patty LaBelle.
again, being agreeable. Being agreeable. Like, oh, that's a big, like, trying to play, like, she's cool with it. Like, oh, I'm cool, I'm down. I'm not thrown off by this. Girl, I see straight through these bitches. Like, I know what's going on. I know it when I see a bitch.
No, I mean, no, she's not on that list, but I mean, I would if she had
Me pack another
It's a
bowl.
list I
You
got.
have to
Here's a list.
listen to
I got
this.
5 girls who I want to suck.
Look
the
at her
fart out of.
face. You can see her eye. It's in her eye.
Kelly
She's not
Rowland.
interested.
Serena Williams, Jennifer Lopez,
That Serena, that was a big old fart.
Stacey Dash, and Patty LaBelle. That's an old fart.
Patty.
Vintage vagina.
She got to pretend like,
Yeah.
look,
Vintage vagina.
look at her. She's pretending.
You don't want to be on that list either.
No, I don't want you doing that.
Yeah,
So how should he have? So he should have came.
Yeah,
into
let it
and
go,
been
Angela.
Perhaps a little more.
She's not that bright either. She's not as bad. She's not. I don't think she's a Me Too, but she is complicit in the Me Too, because you know, and she's such a hypocrite because I've seen other things with her where she's like, oh, slut. Like she'll get behind Amber and be like, oh, slut walk, and women should this, and if they say no, blah blah blah. But you got a guest right in front of your face who's really being sexually harassed, as far as I'm concerned. She don't give a fuck about this. She's working right now. And although it's entertainment, she's there for a purpose. She's not here to entertain this nigga and fulfill his desire of what she like to be sucked out of her butt or not. Oh, you know, you want someone to suck a fart? Oh, what girl? Like, she don't have to answer those questions. It's not that kind of show. Now, maybe if she was on Angela's show, the lip service, you know what you're signing up for. It's, okay, this is what they're going to talk about. So you see what I'm saying? There's a context to it. And you're showing up. And you know it's going to be on the table. And you want to know what else? They say it to the men and the women. It's not a conversation where on Breakfast Club, I feel like they only really do this to women. And not them, but Charlemagne. He don't do this to men. Oh, well, have you ever had a fart sucked out of your butt? And although I will say, I've never seen him do it to their face, but I do think he has an obsession. I think he might, not that it's anything wrong, but maybe he's bisexual because he does seem to also have an obsession. What, like, to me, gay stuff. I don't know how to explain it. I know it when I see it. If I come across another interview, assuming you guys are enjoying this production that we are putting on, maybe I'll just do another production for the children and we'll serve it up on a platter and we'll dissect it as we're doing this. But, yeah, I don't know exactly where I feel like I saw that, but I just know that I did. I just know that I did. The same way how I know that I've heard him say he's going to suck a fart out of someone, or he would like to, or make the statement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I've heard him say it. And here, in this interview here, is an interview that I've never even really watched until this moment before I did this broadcast. So, it's like, he really is just this way. He's like, and he's doing this in the public where everyone can see. So, he must be arrogant, like, oh, whatever. Because what y'all gonna do? I said right on the air that she got vintage vagina. Ooh, yes. You know, and then he mixes it with some, he tries to play bashful in a way like, ooh, yeah, you know. But, no, bitch, I see through you. You're a predator. At least that's how I perceive it. Now, could I be wrong? I always want to say that is true. I could be. But based on my assessment, what my eyes are telling me and my spirit and my soul and my brain, which... You know, it doesn't mean I'm never wrong, but bitch, the body count is low. Let's put it like that. Okay, let's just put it like that. The body count below, it is so low. And so it's kind of like I trust my instinct. Okay, let us continue.
word and
Yeah, like you are in real life with every single
Well,
other
clearly he's
person
not.
and
She's
everything you do.
down.
See that, Charlamagne?
She don't give a fuck about
Listen, I'm
that.
chilling. Okay? I'm relaxing. I was just, we was having a meal.
I was actually afraid because I remember the first time I did an interview with you
She was
was
afraid.
over the phone with Wendy. And I was a little afraid because you kind of
And you know what? Actually, let me pause one more time. I'm sorry, y'all. Also, because I know for a fact I didn't say this. Not only did I see this interview for the first time moments before I did this broadcast, I didn't finish it. Because I think up to this point, maybe a little bit out, I'll know once it starts to sound brand new. But like I haven't heard it already. But I was hearing so much of the fart sucking and inappropriate stuff that I wanted, it hit my soul to make this broadcast to show you what it looks like. And what it looks like to be complicit, because these bitches know. Either that or they're ignorant. And why should they be on the radio? If you're that dumb that you can't see when someone is uncomfortable with the line of questioning what you are doing, then you ain't really fit, bitch, to be on the air. Now I'm not trying to take the foot off this bitch plate. I'm just making a motherfucking point. Be better, do better, bitch. This nigga that said he wanted to suck a fart one too many times for this bitch to have never said, can you please stop? It's gross. The first time, it's not that, okay, if you enter that in the bedroom, fine, keep it in the bedroom. Or come to lip service and expose what you're really into when it's appropriate. But at this point, in this juncture, okay, it's nasty. Stop asking the guests, can you suck a fart from out of their butt before I file a complaint? See, that's what a real bitch would do. And, you know, maybe she didn't have to say it on the air. From within her essence and her soul to really let this nigga know where she stands. So this bitch really can't stand for nothing or not much. When she could say one thing, oh, slut, you know, a slut walk, and, you know, no means no, and, you know, you should be able to know when someone's uncomfortable, and you're going to sit up here and let this nigga go on and on about a fart list? Bitch, you's on the list, Chris Jericho. Oh, yes, bitch. You's on the list. Okay? Because, bitch, I see you. And your ass be wanting to cherry pick. That's what I'm seeing. And I see through the facade. And, you know, it's just not gonna work. Because, bitch, at this point, you need to clock this nigga. This potato head. Clock this potato. Chop her up and fry her. Please. I mean, please. Okay, so let's continue. It's gonna get worse. It gotta get worse. If it's only 7 minutes and 13 seconds in, and he didn't already mention fart sucking in the fart list, and how big the dick be, and you know who back got blown, at this point, oh, you know, this bitch is gonna get worse. Okay, so let's continue to watch this train wreck.
I like to have real conversation. That's
How did you know that he only goes raw?
He only goes raw.
That's crazy.
that is not true.
Listen,
I don't be listening to them. They're just talking.
Ask him.
you better bring them horses to the throne.
I wish I had a horse. I'm 7 inches 3/4, 8 when it's
I'm talking Trojan, sir.
Oh, got you.
Rough
Sorry.
Riders, whatever you'd like to use.
Sorry. So how did Lance mess this beautiful thing up?
Who's Lance?
Lance Gross.
Danny tries to throw that
Lance
just a
didn't
pinch of
mess
gentleman.
Lance Gross,
Girl,
that's the
bye.
dude from NSYNC?
Please.
Listen, that's Lance Bass.
Oh, Lance Bass.
Stop it.
And he's
Stop
gay.
it.
Oh,
Listen.
sorry.
But that's what I heard. That's why I heard you and Lance broke up though, because he was cheating on you with Tyler Perry.
See, and look at, and even
Wait,
see,
who's
she's
Lance
uncomfortable.
Gross, man? Tell me a movie
can't
or
see
something.
that?
How would I don't know who he is?
He's on Tyler Perry's House of Pain.
She's uncomfortable with this whole thing.
He got shot in one of those Tyler Perry movies. He was a
don't watch
basketball
Tyler
player.
Perry
If you don't watch Tyler Perry, then.
All right, so
He's
is
a
that true?
heartthrob
Like,
actor.
look at,
Okay.
he's like,
And they were engaged.
does too much
We were
on
engaged. We were together
purpose.
for 5 years.
There was
when
a way
I
to
started
ask
dating
that
Lance, I was
question.
young, and we're definitely in love, but I don't think either of us were really ready to get married. I know we were both committed to each other. He didn't want to be with anyone else. I didn't want to be with anyone else. So naturally,
And I had never even heard that
step
rumor.
is let me propose. And so when he proposed, I was like, I mean, I definitely wanted to be with him, but I wanted to have a long engagement. And then a year and a half, the wedding's coming up. And it just, I wasn't.
Damn, he planned the wedding and everything?
Oh, yeah, full-fledged.
Damn it, man.
And then I wasn't ready. He didn't do anything wrong. He never cheated on me. I never cheated on him. He's still a great guy. Whoever ends up dating him is going to be very lucky.
Ooh.
It just wasn't my moment.
And then that Bugatti pulled up.
Listen, the Bugatti came later. He bought the Bugatti when we were together. So the Bugatti wasn't already there.
Didn't Lance leave you on your birthday to go sail on a boat with Tyler?
See, she's doing too much.
I had just gotten a contract rolling Young and the Restless, and I just started a new TV show.
Gotcha.
So I was offered to go on Oprah's boat with Tyler and all the whole crew, and I wasn't able to. But
gotcha.
next season, what was it? That Christmas.
But see, okay,
in 2 weeks.
I think there may be some truth to what Charlamagne is saying. Just because I'm that bitch. I can see it. She really, if you listen to what she said, to me, it don't make sense because, okay, we know why you didn't go on the boat. Why did he choose to go on the boat when he could have went to LA and decided to spend, like, okay, you had to work. But shouldn't your birthday, if he's so in love with you and, oh, he wanted to get married so quick, he's so in love, shouldn't that take precedence over him being on the boat with Oprah and Tyler Perry? So I do think she really didn't, she addressed why she didn't go. She didn't address why he also chose to not be with her. So I think Charlamagne, because I had never even heard that rumor. I'm not saying that it didn't exist, but what I am saying is I never heard it. So I'm guessing he probably knows someone who really knows the tea and is trying to make it seem like it's public knowledge and threw it out there. And she probably knows it's true. Maybe she really does love him and they're friends. And so she's trying to, because she really didn't answer the question why he went. That's the real question, why he went. But the reality of it is, it's none of his business. So even though I think there may be some truth to it, I don't know to what extent, but what I also can acknowledge is it's none of this nigga's business. He's being too goddamn nosy. And that's just the bottom line. Let's continue.
In like Private Island and Bahamas in 2 weeks in Aspen, so.
Didn't they have
And see, okay, so maybe I should rewind a little bit. And I think maybe the reason why it stopped working is because I was doing so much with the screen. So let me not do too much because I don't want it to cut off on me again. Okay, let's see.
So I was offered to go on Oprah's boat with Tyler and all the whole crew, and I
She's so
wasn't able
uncomfortable.
to.
She wasn't able
But just
gotcha.
the next season, what was it? That Christmas, we did 2 weeks in like Private Island.
Like, she's handling this as good as anybody could under the circumstance. Again, she's being put on the spot. But to me, what she just said ain't neither here nor there, because she said, oh yeah, the next season, what is she even saying? Like next year? Like what? I don't understand what she's saying, but okay, let's just follow the story. So she says, oh, the next season, for like 2 weeks, Aspen, we spent in Aspen or wherever she went. Here's my point. Okay, so what? That's not the point. The point is, it was your birthday. That's important. That's important. That's. I feel like if your birthday means something to you, because she didn't say, oh, it was no big deal, I'm not a birthday person. She really didn't acknowledge what the actual question was. And what I'm saying is, okay, so you skip my birthday and you're gonna just be like, oh, I'm gonna make it up to you. Like, that's not for you to be madly in love the way she's making it seem. That does not sound like the right response. So he might kind of be materialistic or, put his career, I don't know, put his career before her. I don't know. Thinking maybe if he went on the cruise or went on the thinking if he went on the yacht, and look what happened. Did he get on the show? So, maybe there was a blood oath. I don't know. With these fucking demons, you really don't be knowing. He could just be a normal one. Remember when I told y'all about the celebrities? He might be a normal one. Or this is the big one, he could be a lizard person. Girl, you got to do your research. I'm not saying that lizard people are real, but the level of demonic behavior of these demons, you really don't know what is actually possible. You know, that's just where I am with it. Now, of course, I'm not literally thinking a lizard person. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, then again, I don't want to say literally. Let me put it like this. In my conscious mind, there's no evidence of a lizard person. And I've looked into it. I've seen the YouTube videos, but I haven't really seen sufficient evidence to tell me, okay, maybe I should look deeper. Just like Bigfoot. Girl, okay, quick sidebar. Some kind of way, what was I watching? I can't even remember what it was, but, girl, child, they had a whole show. And right then, you should know that this network needs to be canceled. Because they gave these bitches an entire show. And it was, I'm just giving it this makeshift name, but we're going to just call it the Bigfoot Chasers. And so the premise of the show is, you know, we know she exists, and you know, we have evidence, and we're gonna find her and expose and show y'all, and we told you so, and all that. And let's be clear, I would love for that to be the case. At this point, bitch, y'all just look like some crazy girls. Y'all just look like some crazier than a big butt girls, because you sit up on TV. And my question is, okay, so if you never saw the Yeti, how do you know you ain't picking up the sound? Like, bitch, how you know that's the sound? It's just like these girls who be on the Cosmos and all these shows when they have the dinosaurs and shit. I'm like, okay, but how you know she sound like that? They be like, and they be like, but how you know she wasn't? We working on that lower note. But the point is, how you know she wasn't the yay and not the nay? These bitches be giving you so much information, and I maintain, when someone can answer for me this question and make it make real sense, maybe we can have a conversation. You know something in the water ain't clean when these bitches claim that they can tell you so much information billions of years ago, down to the sounds, the textures, girl, what was the first thing that develops, boom, 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 how they know all this information. Girl, they have satellites, they can go from here to there, bitch, millions of miles away, send you information, you know, all this tea what they're serving, but yet we don't know who killed Tupac and Biggie, bitch. It don't make sense, bitch. It don't make sense, bitch. It just don't add up. And when you can answer for me that question, because with all the technology what they have, bitch, explain to me the reason why they can't mix some shit together and get, like, okay, from the dust, like, bitch, something gotta be picked up. All these cameras be around, in some kind of way, girls be getting away. Bitch, sorry. No, I'm just not going for it. To make a long story short, I'm not going for it, bitch. Let's just be clear on that. Can we just be straight about a few things? I'm not going for it. And then you got Potato Head with too many eyes, wandering eyes at that, growing from out this nigga head. This is a me too. I don't understand how he ain't been clocked yet. But girl, if don't nobody else do it, you know, the reason why I don't feel bad is because he's doing this to himself. Maybe if he did it once, it was like, okay, he didn't know and someone clocked him and he didn't do it again. But it shows to me, and I'm showing you how his face look, how her face look. He don't give a damn. And only until the Me Too thing blew up did he stop. And I don't even think he really all the way stopped, but I think he mainly stopped. The fart sucking, fartless, etc., vintage vagina, etc. But it's not because he wanted that, or because he's not that way behind the scenes. I think it's because he realized, oh shit, things are changing, powerful people are going down, and if these girls who got more clout than me, money longer than mine, influence deeper, platform popping, and they're gonna need to get his shit straight. It's not authentic. he could still be also Me Too behind the scenes. I am not buying it. Because he only stopped after Me Too started. And I know I'm not crazy. And I know I'm not crazy. But he got the audacity to be, all up in R. Kelly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he don't need to be investigated. But Charlamagne don't need to be leading the investigation. Mm-hmm. She don't need to be leading the investigation. And also, I think he is kind of excited about the Wendy Williams situation. And I feel like, I do understand everybody's point. But at the end of the day, at this point, unless you are evil, and maybe she is evil, because I don't watch her show enough to have really had the investigation that needs to be had, to really be able to clock this bitch how she needs to be clocked. Maybe I can hold, if anybody wants to know my real feelings on Wendy, although I would say this though, even if in her case, unless she's a Me Too, like a predator like that, okay, I think she, of course, on some level does bring bad energy towards herself, because her show, from the little that I've seen, it does feel negative. But I would still say her losing her health, and worse, her mind and her health, I would say we can maybe acknowledge maybe this is karma, because that's just we have eyes, we see how it's unfolding. We could call it karma, but I don't think we need to sing and dance about it. The only way I wouldn't even say you should be singing and dancing about any of it, to be honest. But I would say that I would take solace when the evil girls drop dead. I won't sing and dance, but I will say thank you, universe, for removing actual trash. A lot of good people leave, but I'm thankful that the trash was taken out. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to Eva Marcel Pigford. While I pack another bowl.
Bahamas in 2 weeks in Aspen, so.
Didn't they have just all boys trips though?
And look, he's still pressing.
No, they did not, Charmaine.
That's what the Boondocks said.
Let me tell you.
That episode of the Boondocks.
I don't think the Boondocks is a real source.
Yes.
Okay.
Listen, so Tyler Perry's best friend is actually the lady on the show that plays Ella. You don't know. That plays Ella on House of Pain. That's his best friend. Tyler doesn't go. Her name's Cassie Davis. He goes nowhere without her. Right. So it's likely to have a female there actually before her.
But see, even that to me don't make. Okay, so what? What does that mean? What does that mean? So he's likely to at least have her. Well, if she's his confidant and knows all his tea, what does that mean? She could just be there, and while everybody fucking, she could just be minding her business, like girl smoking her blunt, like she is not pressed. So it would have been different had she would have said, and even this would not be a 100% guarantee, but I would have been more open to it had she said, girl, listen, yeah, he does have a lot of men, but it's couples trips. So most time when they're on those yachts, they're with their wives. They're with their girlfriends. It's not like it's just the boys. Then that would have been like, oh, okay, so it's people bringing their spouses. But all she said was that this bitch that I don't even know who she is, like, she just say, oh, Beyonce be on the trip too, and she brings Kelly and Michelle, and sometimes Solange drop in, and Miss Tina and B or Blue and Recon and Rico or whatever their names is. I know something cute. What is it? Recon? No, it's not Recon. Why am I wanting to say Recon? Do I need to write that down? No, it's Rumi and Sir. Rumi and Suri, or is it just Rumi and Sir? Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up later, and it's really not that big a deal. But the bottom line is, this bitch is throwing in some woman that I don't even know who the fuck she is to confirm that there's a woman on board. But okay, so she could be on board, and maybe the captain is a woman too, bitch. What does that actually mean? It don't really mean shit. It could be one woman and like 15 other men. Because that's the part she's doing the best that she can. But her saying that one woman shows up is not addressing his point that it's a trip that has all these men on the trip. You're just saying that there's a woman on board, which means I don't understand, but you know, and I feel bad for her. Because even, it's like my mind can see the whole thing. I can see the whole energy. Envy ain't got no backbone because he ain't saying shit. He's letting this go on and laughing, you know, along in the background to make it seem like it's better than what it is. Like, oh, it's not that bad because everyone's laughing. She's laughing. She's participating, so it's not that bad. You know, y'all know how Charlamagne, like, he's a complicit nigga. Angela is complicit and a hypocrite. Charlamagne is a creep and a potato head with way too many eyes that are traveling in wandering pants. This bitch needs to be Me Too'd because he's Me Too. He is a Me Too. He is absolutely a Me Too. I don't understand why I'm even having to explain, but because y'all family, I feel like y'all will understand if I paint this picture. Because real quick, I want to say, since I'm already like having to double record this situation, so at this point we are totally in the inception, but I digress. One thing that in my review of my review, prior to me having to review it again for this recording, girl, is so much, you have no clue. But one thing that I know I didn't say was also pay attention to her hands. Pay attention to her hands. You can also pick up on her nervous energy and her anxiety through her hands. But I'll let it continue. You can see how he's a Me Too easily. I think within like the first 3 minutes of the production, he was already talking about dick size. This nigga is a perv habitually and continuously, and he needs to be stopped in his tracks immediately. All these cancellations. It's like this is one cancellation that is a glaring cancel. You don't see this bitch? She got all these gigabytes. You don't hardly ever use her. Can't you just delete this and save some space? For something that is going to be of value for real? He's just, and then with his books, black, what is it? I forget what the title is, but I'm wondering, something in my spirit tells me the title bothered me, but I'm wondering why. Let me just Google real quick. Because if I don't, then I'm going to be wondering, what was it that he put in this title that made me feel some kind of way? But maybe I'm tripping. Hold on. Charlamagne the God. I'm packing a bowl, by the way, whilst I look this title up. Shook one. Okay, Black Privilege. Maybe he was trying to be clever, and maybe it's not even that big a deal, I will admit. But let me just explain my case, and if I'm overthinking, that's fine. You know, but let me explain. The name Black Privilege to me is almost like, what do you, like, you're comparing it to what? White privilege, which we know is not the same. And this black privilege thing that he's talking about, where are the real privileges? Truly. What, getting choked out, having all your people get slain, and seeing nothing be done about it, and people tell you that you're overthinking it, playing the cards. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody really giving a fuck. Whether your water is clean or not, whether you can afford your rent or not, whether you can afford your health care or not. If you come home from the military, your mental health. They so pressed on the flag, but don't give a fuck about the so-called individuals that defend it. And these bitches just need to be a clean house, a royal flush, and all these turds need to be on board at the same time, ideally. Because it just don't make no goddamn sense. And it never really has. It just don't make no mora fucking sense. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to it, and then I'm going to pack another bowl, because, girl, it's like, this is such... The spirit told me to just do this, but listening to the two of them talk, even though I'm more on Eva's side because he is a creep, I still, with her, it's like, girl, I don't like when she was like, oh, I try to put them on, but, like, you're not being humble. I can see through your fake. She's trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm not friend. That will do. Like, I don't know how to explain it. There's a way to get certain things across without it being too much for me. Like, it just came across to me like, you know, I'm making it happen and trying to put my friends on, but sometimes it's hard. You know, it's hard to get for a pimp, you know, especially when you're trying to do it all, you know, the Melanie Fiona way, be a warthog at night and a princess in the daytime. It's hard covering all your bases. It is absolutely hard to cover every base when you have to manage being two completely different things all at once, like Whitney. Oh, at once, yes. Wish you the best. Wish you the best. 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 Okay, let's go ahead on and hit this bone. I'm having a good time with y'all. I hope y'all are enjoying yourselves. Right along with me. I don't know where that came from. Okay. Let's continue.
Before I got.
When did the Bugatti come?
Oh, he's asking.
Oh, well, let's rewind it a little bit so we can pick up
So
what she was
he
saying about
doesn't
this
have a name
woman.
anymore. He's a car now. On the show that plays Ella, you don't know. That plays Ella on House
Right.
of Pain. That's his best friend. Tyler doesn't go. Her name's Cassie Davis. He goes nowhere without her.
Gotcha.
So it's likely
so
to
maybe
have a
people do know
female
her.
there actually before God.
When did the Bugatti come?
But it's not
he's
like she's
asking when
going
did you
with
start
the
dating
girl.
Flow Rider.
So he doesn't even have a name anymore. He's a car now.
Yeah, they're just
That's our
being,
envy
they're
idea.
being like rude, I feel. I don't know. There's a way funny and I don't know. I just don't like how they're doing it. I can see she's uncomfortable. She's handling it as well as anyone could under the circumstances because this is like happening on the spot. She got to answer the questions and manage her reactions and be thinking about, okay, I don't want to come across as a prude and like I can't handle myself against Charlemagne, but I don't want to be offensive and put him in his place, but I also want to kind of give subtle signals that I'm uncomfortable and could we move on and I'm going to try to pivot and when it comes to this man, she's obviously, I'm not going to say obviously, but my feeling is that because she's not actually answering the questions. To me, at least, and maybe she is, but it just feels like she's not answering the question directly. So now she's being put on the spot to defend this person and, you know, kind of, no, everything is good. And maybe they are, maybe they're not, but it's really none of our business. Of course, now that it's on this thing, I'm assessing it because it's on the screen. But beyond that, it really isn't my business whether or not he was gay, bi, this happened, didn't happen. But I can just see that it's uncomfortable for her and why they're letting it carry on. And now this guy, I forget his name, but they're calling him Bugatti. And it's just like, bitch, y'all just purposefully are being kind of rude. Angela tried to clean it up, but then she kind of got on the wagon too. So that's why I think maybe she's not that bright. I kind of prefer her on lip service just because at least being inappropriate makes sense there. Because people come there knowing what it is and it makes sense there. And so it's easier for me to stomach. But when I watch it here where it's supposed to be, it could be funny and maybe even a little bit of shade. I don't know how to explain it. But there's a way to kind of handle these things where it doesn't require you to be messy or perverted or, you know, just doing the absolute too much. And so, yeah, I think there's a lesson to be learned, but we are not through teaching, so let's continue.
That's how envy identifies people, by material things.
Pretty much.
Okay, when
I
did
get
Flo
your
Rida come?
name.
Yes, when did Flo Rida come?
Actually,
Oh,
Pause. I mean, when it
That went
came
over
like
your
that.
head.
She's not
No,
comfortable.
won't.
Look at this
No,
face.
okay.
I do this thing for BET every year, the Coca-Cola Lounge, in the radio remote room. You know, when you go to the award show, you do all the radio, but then
So she's
I'm
trying
at
to
Cool
control
Lounge
it,
in
and
the
she
back
has
with
all
DJ
these lights
and
flashing in her
I'm
face.
nominating this shit, by the way.
She knows that every reaction is being.
Yeah.
See, she's smiley and
no one remembers who was
laughing.
nominated. Just remember who won.
All right, okay, finish
Look at her with the hair
Nominations like
stuff.
women,
She's
baby.
uncomfortable.
That is not
Tell
true.
him.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Well, Envy gets nominated every year. He never wins.
It's my second year. Shut up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Anyway,
She's true.
I was in the radio remote. I was in my little.
I can see in her
Coca-Cola
eyes
lounge,
she's
and
not.
he came
She's
up
not
to me.
really. She's
We had to do a little
trying to make
interview
eye
with
contact
him,
with
and he stuttered
Envy.
a little bit.
But at the
he
same time, a
came
little bit with
off
Charlemagne.
Thought I was attractive.
She's trying to show that
We
she
hang
can
out
handle
when we
herself,
got
and she
there. I
is
was
for the most part.
single, So I gave him my number. And
But
then we were
okay,
supposed to go on a date.
now
And
we're back
my
at
car
it
got
at
a flat
Envy.
coming over the canyon in LA.
Let's
And
keep it
he
calm.
literally, came over there, fixed my
Calm it
tire,
down.
and did the whole moment. And was waiting for me at dinner for like an hour and a half, 2 hours with all his friends who were over it. Because I didn't have homegirls in the bus, so like he was the only one that was going to have fun. And from there, just a friendship blossomed. I had went from such a committed situation, and I was just enjoying life.
Was that before or after he got rid of his hairline? Is that,
Oh, stop it.
See, being rude. If this is someone that she cares about, why would you stay right there? Like putting her on the spot. Now you're gonna make her have to defend him. And is that before or after he lost his hairline? What did you say? This nigga is a coon. I don't like him. She's not. Look at all this. She is not comfortable. All of it, the whole thing. Look, every frame. Let's do one more and see what happens. Clinch. This is probably the best one. Let's do one more. Defense. Okay, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but those first few frames were uncomfortable. Okay, let's go.
Over there, fixed my tire, and did the whole moment.
She's defending him
And
like,
was
no, he's a
waiting for
great
me
guy.
at
He's
like
not
an hour
just,
and a half, 2
it
hours
wasn't
with
just
all his
foul
friends who
material.
were
He was
over
really
it. 'Cause I
kind.
didn't have homegirls in the bus, so like he was the only one.
She's
that
like
was
over explaining it to no,
And
it
from
wasn't just
there,
about
it's
the
a friendship
Bugatti. It was
blossom. I had went from
friendship.
such a committed situation,
He was
and
there
I
for me, or
was
whatever.
just enjoying life.
was that before or after
Like-
he got rid of his hairline? Is that,
Look,
Oh, stop it.
He's gotten rid of his hairline after the fact.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Are you
she
very
couldn't really get
single
around
now?
that. She had to, but look, she was uncomfortable. She couldn't really get around that because I guess it's like either it was pre or after hairline, but still, answering that, she did it very straight laced because she really didn't know where to go. So she just, it was after the hairline or whatever. And then, like, she's not comfortable. You can't see that?
Yes.
Are you very single now?
No.
Before or after he got rid of his hairline? Is that,
Oh, stop it.
He's gotten rid of his hairline after the fact.
gotcha.
Yes.
Are you very single now?
No.
So how'd y'all break up? He left you for Melissa Ford?
Never.
See,
Oh.
Never.
oh my God. So at this point, all this is new to me. The hairline thing. So it's not sexual harassment. At this point, it's just rude.
As fuck.
We know he is a sexual harasser just on the previous stuff he said. But now we also see that he has no class and no tact and just, he's not actually funny or thought-provoking. He's just crass and controversial because he wants to be a shock jock. He wants to be Howard Stern or someone. I don't fucking know. And I feel like I need to watch Howard so we can read her next. But I'm wondering if Howard is, I don't know if she's, and also I think her show is perverted. Like, that's what it's geared for. Again, you can read the energy. This is not Howard Stern where they're shooting hot dogs into people's buttholes, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a totally different thing. So, even if Howard Stern is crass, it's like lip service. It's the time and place. It's not the Breakfast Club. This nigga is just a pervert. And he's just rude and don't got no manners.
No. She realized that he had money after I dated him and decided she wanted him. Not too much.
Oh.
Now, see, even she was holding it together. She was handling it good. You fell right into this coon's trap. You fell into the coon trap. The CT. You fell into the coon trap.
Sure did.
Yeah, this bitch. Oh, but he's pressing a bunch of buttons because he's a pervert, but he also knows it's a show and needs ratings. He's trying to be controversial
dick size, you know, fartless and all kind of things like that.
Right.
Now she held it together. Lance, he's gay. He had a relationship with Tyler. She handled it. And he's like, damn, what button? He's been searching. And look at him now. See, before he's been dead the whole time.
Let me pause
Except
it.
for when he's...
It was that ego that made her do it. She just could not take it. Like when he said, oh, he left you for Melissa Ford, her ego would not let her. Because for her to even say, oh, she realized he had money after I did, you really are admitting right there in that statement. You just didn't realize it because you weren't thinking. But you just admitted that you discovered he had money and then she did. Meaning, bitch, if she's a gold digger, you could be one too, ho.
A pervert, and when he's getting a negative reaction, is this demon. This
he is
demon spawn.
Mm-hmm. He is a demon.
This is a demon. But okay, let's continue.
But then they broke up. And then
Like now he's happy. He's joyful.
Realized that he had money after I dated him and decided
He's talking to the
to
trap.
not too much.
Oh, damn.
But then they broke up. And then Melissa broke
Real
up. And then
quick, because now you're also confirming. Damn, let me put this match out. See, he got a double whammy. Because now you're also confirming what people thought about you. You were doing good when you were saying, oh, it was a friendship, it blossomed, he was kind, he changed my... Like you were explaining that it was more than just his money, he was actually a good person. But when...
Especially when you up here talking about he lost his hairline, and if it's who I think it is, bitch, let's just be clear. I mean, we all know when money is involved, bitch, all things are possible. Girl, you could be up there looking like Biggie Smalls and pulling bitches like Faith Evans in this thing, so let's just be clear. But Slim Jones or Slim, whatever, Slick Rick, bitch, whatever, Miss Thing, whatever this queen is, what is it? Let me see. Eve Marcel. Does it have this man's Flow Rider? Okay, so, bitch, if it's who I think it is, when I think of that name, ain't he that bald one who stay wearing them shades? Don't he got like a mole somewhere on his face? Girl, she don't got no swag. Now, if she's a gentleman, I feel like her being a gentleman, plus if he had a personality, he got some height, like he got some things working for him. Plus, of course, he has his coin, so that's always going to, I think for the overwhelming majority of people, I'm just going to be for real, I think the coin is going to supersede all the other shit. I think the coin is going to, I think if she has a good personality on top of her coin, it's like, oh my God, I really won the lottery on this one. But let's just say she got a bad attitude. You can't tell her nothing. She cheating left and right, bitch. You'll still see her with legendary girls. Because money talks, bullshit walks, bitch. Because you could be all the good things in the world, but if you don't got that coin in that pocketbook to back it up, it's like, well, it was a prospect, but then we found out what his FICO score was. Then we found out, you know, all these additional details. Now, I feel like depending on what now, if he had a gambling problem, she needs to be cut off. She needs to be cut off. Because she's going to spill into her bank account, and then she's going to spill over into yours. And it's going to be just like a drug addict. No shade. It's going to be like, oh, girl, I thought I could win it back. I know it was your grandmother's ring, 6 generations, but I felt like today was the day, and I just felt I was going to go back. I was going to flip it, get the ring back, take it off the table, then use the money that I got through the ring. Like, they got a whole network in their brain to get the fix. So she needs to be cut off. But let's just say she got debt because, you know, first she started her first business when she was young before she went to school and learned how to do it. And then maybe she went in debt over that. Maybe she filed bankruptcy over that. Then she went back to school. Now she got all the proper tools. Now she's about to do it. And just because you don't see the bigger picture. But see, you have to have the discernment to know the difference between a bitch that is just bad with her finances versus a bitch that not only has the potential but is acting on that potential. Because see, bitch, potential is not enough. Because I feel everyone to an extent has potential. But it's, girl, because, you know, potential is not a businesswoman or businessman make. So therefore, bitch, it gotta come with more than just the potential. So anyway, Eva, bottom line, girl, you were doing okay, even though I felt she was lying, and I do think maybe there's some truth to some of these stories, because Charlamagne is messy, and I feel like he probably got the tea from a reliable source, but he's pretending like he got it from the blog, and then he's letting it go, not because he believes her answer, but just because he knows what he's doing. He knows, okay, she's tripping up a little bit, she ain't making sense altogether, and he got what he wanted without having to expose his source, because he's just saying, oh, I heard it from the Boondocks. Bitch, that's not where you got that rumor from. Maybe Boondocks did cover it, but bitch, you probably know all these celebrities that these people know. You don't think that they have the real tea on what these people really are when they go to events? See, bitch, we just see the red carpet, but these bitches actually go inside of the Pandora's box to really be able to report what was inside. Girl, Miss Thing was pill popping. She got really drunk, peed on herself. Nobody ever knew it. Because, of course, you know, nobody talks about it. Why would they? Especially if it's Glenn Close. Bitch, Meryl Streep up here acting a fucking fool, bitch. They'll be like, oh, girl, here she go. But they're not going to tattle on her and be like, oh, girl. Maybe some assistant or someone will do a blind item. But it'll just go away because it's like, bitch, if you can't tell me who the bitch is, because then it's like, oh, if I say her name, she's going to know it's me because she only told like 2 people. Like, they be knowing. So it goes away because they don't give you the stuff that you would really need to pinpoint who the celebrity is, what's your relation to them for us to believe that you have the real tea, bitch. Otherwise, anyone could just say, oh, girl. Like, I could say, well, I was at Barbara Streisand's house and this bitch was, you know, spirit cooking and had, you know, baby filet mignon. And, you know, it was just a lot was going on at this bitch house. And it was kind of like Get Out, to where I had to pretend either A, I didn't know what the fuck was going on, or B, that I was with the shit just so I could kind of back out the back door. Like, girl, let me go ahead and back out. Then I'll bring the authorities. But you got to be careful with that because by the time you get to blood oath, cult levels of the conversation, going to the police might be the wrong thing. Because at that point, they probably are in on it as well. You don't think they know? Like, you think you the first phone call to say Barbara Streisand been eating babies, bitch? You ain't the first. But what happens is they place these phone calls, and then soon as it's on the radar, all of the right girls get involved, and they kill the case. The public don't ever know about it, and the only way you know about it is some bitch that was involved who is too afraid to, which I understand, but I'm just saying, she probably is too afraid to say her name, so now it's just a blind item. Oh, such and such was in the basement. You know what I'm saying? But she can't say, hey, my name is Michelle Watkins, and I was there, because now it's like, bitch, why were you there? It's like, it's too, the affiliation. Monica Lewinsky sucked a dick, and look what happened to her. So now if you turn around and say, I was at a spirit cooking session, I did not know what it was. I was told in the group text that it was going to be a night of celebration. It was going to be a nice quiet meal. And what I heard and what I saw was nothing of the sort. I heard wailing. I thought I was at a funeral, because there was screaming and crying and wailing, and it was something you had to see it to believe it, bitch. You truly did. Blind item. Now it's like, oh, bitch, please. Well, who was there, bitch? Because you giving us clues. Like, one person you probably would know had a TV show, and she was black. Okay, so it's Oprah. Why not just say Oprah, bitch? You basically just said it, but now you playing games, so you losing credibility. So they get away with it. But anyway, let's continue, because this the reason why the first recording was so goddamn long is because of what I'm doing right the fuck now. So let's continue.
He didn't even mention anything about Melissa Ford wanting his money. He just said, oh, did he leave you for Melissa Ford? And when you said, oh, no, none of that, or whatever her response on that, of course, we have the tape, so it's on tape. But whatever it was that she said when she said, oh, no, she realized he had money after I left him. You, in one fell swoop, you gave him the negative reaction he wanted, and you also kind of validated the rumor. Because he didn't say nothing about her wanting his money. Let's just rewind it just for me to be sure. Let's go all the way back to the start of that statement.
He was out here. I was extremely single. So I gave him my number. And then we were supposed to go on a date. And my car caught a flat coming over the canyon. She did so good in this part. And he literally came over there, fixed my tire, did the whole moment.
I'm sorry, one more pause. What's interesting is that when I'm looking at people talk, I can tell when, I don't know how to explain it. Because she actually is doing good, but it just so happens that I am just so well versed in just people and just energy and, you know, that whole thing, that she's just not going to get away. I could see in her eyes I can see her brain. Like, I can see her brain right now. Like, not in the literal sense, but through everything that she is doing. From her shoulders to her hands, her eyebrows, her nose, her mouth, the way she's laughing. Literally everything she... And this is what my ex was saying. I don't know how you do that. That seems like that would be exhausting. Everywhere you go, you just be picking all this shit up. And it is exhausting, but it is what it is, bitch. I can't control it. I didn't choose it, bitch. The game chose me. Bitch, I didn't choose this shit. But at the same time, I'm not complaining either because I feel like I'd rather know what this bitch is serving me up front. But see, my issue sometimes is that I don't... See, in this case, I don't know Eva. So it's easy for me to say it and then walk away. But in real life, I be knowing, but then I be like, oh, I don't want... Sometimes I don't accept it. I feel like in every situation where it didn't go how I wanted, from my drug dealer to, with respect to my ex, my neighbor, that friend that Mother Ashley don't feature, the one friend who invited me to her house for a edible party, got there, she wanted to be dressed up to a grandma in her moo talking about, oh, it's 11 o'clock, bitch, girl. Okay, you 29, bitch, you acting like you about 92. Talking about it's bedtime, it's 11 o'clock, and you know, bitch, girl, tried it. But see, my mother never liked her because she felt like she was trifling, and she was trifling. But then I was like, oh, maybe she grew and all this, because see, we stopped being friends at different periods. But the whole thing in the nutshell was, you know, she would come back because, bitch, they always do. When you're good to them, they always find a way back. Like, hey, girl, you know, it took me a while, but I finally realized the error of my ways. I'm back. And I just want you to shut. Like, they be real humble. And as soon as they feel like they back into the fold, but see, what they don't know about me is, see, bitch, I'm still that same bitch. Like, I'm still that bitch that I'm not gonna, just because, see, what they be thinking is, oh, we've been estranged for so long, he's gonna let it slide because he's not gonna want to, like, they put it on me. But see, bitch, it's contingent on what you do. Because even if I made a mistake and you called me out, I would handle it the right way and not try to make it your issue. So we still wouldn't fall out over my mistake because, bitch, I would own it. But see, with these bitches, oftentimes what happens is they'll ever want to own it. And they, like, when they want you to own your stuff, and you can do that, but when it's their turn, they want you to own your stuff and they want you to own their stuff. Like, bitch, it's not gonna happen like that. And so if I had just been listening to my instinct and all of the things that I knew to be true, just based off of all the information that I can't help but see, now maybe I can try to deny it or explain it to myself, like, oh, whatever I'm trying to do, but ultimately, bitch, I know what I'm seeing. And I know what I'm experiencing. I know what it is. And so it's the reason why things have happened to me in that way is not because I didn't have the tea. I would say it's because I was just being, I wouldn't even say naive, because it's not naive. I knew. It's more just being a dumb bitch. I mean, if we're going to call it a spade, it's just being a dumb bitch, ultimately. I mean, we can call it this and that, but ultimately it's being a dumb bitch because I knew who these girls were. See, naive would be the information's in your face, but you know, you just don't see it the way that it's being presented. That would be naive. But see, this was not naive because I saw the information and I knew exactly how to decipher it and how to decode and break it down. But, and I did. But even with that, I thought, you know, maybe if I just am patient, I can help him to understand that he don't have to lie. You know, he's good enough just what he is. If, you know, this can be, maybe I can't change everyone, but this is one person who's in my life that maybe I can have a, you know, you start rationalizing. So that's not naive, in my opinion. Maybe the naive part was me trying to convince but see, again, that's denial, not naive, in my opinion. Again, I think naive is more like you're in the midst of something and you just don't see it. Oh, I'm going to take you just met this bitch today. Can you give me a ride home? And okay, you know, I don't know her, but I'm not saying that that's wrong. One time I gave an old lady a ride home from the grocery store. She didn't live that far, and she looked really old, and I saw her walking. She was in a petticoat, like in a muumuu, big muumuu, and I'm like, oh, where is she going? Is she going to her car, or is she really about to sit here and walk home? And the speed she was going, by the time she would have probably got home, it would have been like late afternoon. Even though her house wasn't that far, I'm just calculating her speed to the distance. I'm like, she would have been there. She would have been on the street getting back to this house all day. and all she came for was an orange and I don't know, maybe another melon type of fruit, but she had very little. But then again, for as slow as she was walking, it was kind of early morning, so I'm trying to figure out how did she get there so fast. Maybe somebody dropped her off. Because she also had on these house slippers where they were kind of like fabric, but had maybe like some thin rubber on the bottom. And I'm just like, girl, she is too old. And I don't know her, but so that's different. Plus, she was not a threat to me. Like, this was not like I was picking some man up, big man that I don't fucking know, putting him in my car talking about, let me drive you home. You know, this is an older woman. Like, it had to be minimum like 80 something. She was definitely up there. And she was so pleasant. She was very nice, very gracious. Like, oh, thank you, blah, blah, blah. But I also had to use my brain. So I was able to see that there was no threat there. She needed a ride home, and I was happy to give it to her. But suppose that was some dude. This is what naive would be, in my opinion. Suppose that was some dude who looked kind of sketchy. I'm looking at his cart. He got duct tape, Glad wrap, like all the things you would need to really kind of try to kill someone and clean it up. Bleach, acetone, you know, all kind of random manure. I don't fucking know. But, okay, I'm looking at that. But I'm just seeing it like, oh, you know, he's probably gardening and probably got some home repair. Like, to me, that's naive. Like, your senses should be telling you something about this is off. His energy, what he got in his cart or in his bag. Maybe he had a little bit of blood on him, and she may be thinking, oh, you know, maybe he's a butcher, and maybe he just, like, okay, does he not change clothes? Like, he butchers in his daytime clothes? Like, bitch, you know, you making, like, your brain does not see it how it is. To me, that's naive. Now, in denial would be you picking your husband up from work, and he told you a story. 2 days later, the police come knocking. Yeah, such and such went missing. And now you thinking back to that story about what he told you. You realizing this should make it sound like my husband did kill this bitch. Based on the police don't know this story, but I know what he told me before this all happened. So now I'm thinking maybe he did do it. But because you love him, now when he comes back and tells you, I didn't do it, you have to believe me. When you believe him, to me, that's not naive. Because you know in your heart what the tea is. You already programmed it like, oh, he told me this story already, so the police coming to tell me, bitch, I already knew the next thing because my husband already told me. So my husband did it. So you're not naive, bitch, because you know the tea. You're just in denial. And now what you're doing is you're trying to rationalize how maybe he knew that story before the police came to you. But anyway, let me get back to this.
And was waiting for me at dinner for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
She's controlling it right now.
And
she is.
So, like, he was the only one that was going to have fun. Yes. And
look at her mouth.
There, just a friendship blossom. I went from such a committed situation, and I just
it's not about
enjoying life.
Was that before or after he got rid of his hairline?
Oh, stop it.
He's gotten rid of his hairline after the fact.
Gotcha.
So he's trying to throw her off.
Are you very single?
Yeah.
No.
So how'd y'all break up? He left you for Melissa Ford?
Never.
See?
Oh.
Never.
No. That's what did her in. Her
just asking like he's innocent. This is a coon.
Yeah.
Anybody that bought his book and supported him, maybe they just don't see it. But girl, please stop, because this is it. If you really support women, truly, this is a situation where it's on tape countless times. He is a sexual harasser. It's just I don't feel like I'm being wrong calling him out because it's on tape. I feel like when I make my arguments, I try to paint the picture so you understand why I feel valid in saying it. It just so happens this time I decided to like record it so we can actually catch the facial expressions, the tones, the awkward moments, and really be able to dissect it moment by moment, frame by frame, literally and figuratively. And so here we are, like Luther, and am I wrong? I hope I'm not. I hope I'm not wrong. I feel like in my heart, if we really want to call out Me Too girls, let's call out the real ones. Harvey Weinstein, of course, R. Kelly, because we know what she did last summer. Okay, and the summer before that. I ain't talking about these grown women that are sex slaves who really knows what's really going on. Maybe he is a slave master or whatever the fuck you call those girls. No shade. But I don't know. I feel like if they grown, it's unfortunate if they are brainwashed. But okay, so are you gonna go to Colorado and get all them bitches that is about 30 women in one house to a man, and the nigga about 80 years old, and his wife is what, barely legal? On Big Love, the hoes weren't even legal. Last I checked. Oh, nasty. You know, even though God rest his soul, because I know he was acting, but just the idea behind it. I'm talking about the character. Nasty. Liver spot. Girl, you better back it on up.
Yeah, I'm saying it's just kind of like, what you gonna do? You don't. In the R. Kelly case, at this point in the conversation, to my knowledge, these bitches are grown, and even though I disagree with the whole conversation, some kind of way he got around the law because what? Weren't they like of the consent age? I forget. But the whole thing in the nutshell is, bitch, at this point, these hoes are grown talking about he never touched us inappropriately when he wasn't supposed to. Like, they're not, so if they're not going to do it, then the real case was Aaliyah and the girl that he peed on. Because we have physical evidence, bitch. We got a marriage certificate, plus we got videotape. And that's rare. But we got it. And y'all let Miss Calandria, Miss Roberta, Calithia get away? I mean, we can acknowledge she got some cute songs. I don't like her whole catalog. I Believe I Can Fly is probably what I like the best. But even still, it's like, bitch, she's still a dirt queen. And she was a dirt queen from the moment that she got with Aaliyah. I'd actually say she was a dirt queen the moment that she started messing with high school girls. I think that's gross. And I noticed that in, what's that movie with Drew Barrymore with David Arquette? Never Been Kissed, or Back in High School, whatever the fuck the name of the movie is. I noticed when she was like, oh, I'm going to be pretending to be a high school student. See, even back then, they were kind of doing too much, like, to me, borderline pedophilia. Because you had David Arquette, ooh, sexy high school girls, or something that he was saying. I'm like, this is something that actually y'all been encouraging. The objectification of high school girls. That is not an R. Kelly thing. Y'all been doing that. Ooh, high school girls. And I was watching a movie that I actually love, but I never really noticed the age difference. It's a Wonderful Life. When he met that girl, wasn't he like in his 20s and this bitch was like 15? Because I remember when I was watching it recently, I'm like, wait, what? Something about the age was off to me. I'm like, but see, they've been thinking, oh, see, if it's a man, well, either way they like it. Because if it's a man having sex with an older woman, they're like, ooh, yes, you doing it, you a grown man now. And then if it's a grown man objectifying a young girl, then it's like, ooh, yeah, sexy high school girls, Britney Spears and her. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole thing. When she had on the uniform and she's clearly like supposed to be in high school, but she's like sexy, and so really they actually like it both ways. Now that I'm thinking out loud, so it's really just a lot of stuff going on. I don't know. The conversation goes deeper, and if we really talk about it long enough, I'm sure this conversation will lead us back to ancient Greece, because I believe this probably is something that is just a revolving door, and then it just restarts. To the point to where, how long is it going to take these girls to corrupt and explode this time? But anyway, let's continue.
It's like, okay, if these women are grown and they want to be, you know, sit up there with that one single braid down the back of their skull.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what you going to do? Which I think it's inappropriate that all these women are, well, she grown. She knows what she's doing. I think if she's not grown, then it's an argument. But if they grown, whether we agree or disagree, we don't have to like it. Let's just face the facts. We do not have to like it. That's not the point. The point is, people do need to have the right to express whatever it is that they're trying to express so long. Is they're not hurting anyone. And ideally, they would not hurt themselves. And the reason why I say that is because this is just me, and again, you may disagree, but I feel like of course, we don't want anyone to hurt themselves. Let's be very clear. But if it's like, oh, I want to hurt myself and I want to take girls out with me, I feel first, if we don't want you to hurt yourself, of course. But definitely we do not want you to hurt other people who have nothing to do, don't know what's happening in your life. You cannot take it out on other people. And so if it comes down to it, we don't want you to harm yourself. But you should go before you decide to take other girls that have more work to do. And maybe that's wrong for me to say, that's just how I feel. We prefer it not to happen at all. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's an extreme case where it's like, you know, I'm ill and, you know, I don't want to suffer, and I think that should be a personal choice. Now, again, that's going to be a controversial thing, but I'm being very sincere. That's my feeling. And I feel that if you have a dog or a cat, and as a human being, you feel like, oh, my dog or my cat is suffering, and we can make the decision to bring some, you know, relief, and that's perfectly acceptable. How come a human being who can vocalize what they'd like done can't be serviced because you feel morally that you have the moral high ground to dictate what an individual to their own body, whether you don't have to agree, but ultimately this bitch got to do what she got to do and let the pieces fall where they may. But the bottom line is, if she's going to fail, if she's going to regret it, if she's going to whatever, that's a choice she got to make. And so if it is a sex slave that's an adult, I pray for her healing, that she free her mind, and the rest shall follow, you know. But what we do know is that you done peed in this bitch, on this bitch, and beside this bitch. And we know she didn't deserve that. And we do know that it was you. I mean, too many girls done watched that video and have said that it's definitely her, for me not to believe that it's her. Because I just am not going to watch it. It's not necessary when it's been confirmed for me. And I just feel as though, so we really need to focus on, and I think double jeopardy need to be gone, because I feel like if we know he's guilty, why can't we, and we have new information or new people are willing to testify that we didn't have before, I feel like if new evidence come, we need to be able to reopen the case. It's not like, oh, you tried me and you didn't find the knife, but after I was found innocent, you found the knife with my fingerprint all over it and her blood and my, you know, my DNA. But just because, like, oh, no. I feel like if that happens and it's very clear, like, oh, we finally found the weapon and it was in a garbage bag in the forest. But what happened was someone was hiking and they had their dog, and the dog was like, oh, girl, I smell something. And she found the bag. And he turns it into the police station. Girl, it was just a twist of fate. And so she gets to just sail off into the sunset with this insurance money that she got off her dead wife that she killed, knowing that she did it. And somehow everybody just got to be like, she show up to Walmart and you got to service this bitch. I'll be like, I can't service her. I mean, maybe she can get service, but it's not going to be by me, sweetheart. I cannot service her. So she gonna have to get another line. And if the manager got to be called, all right, because I'm not going to deal with this bitch. So, you know, I don't know what conversation really needs to be had, but somebody else going to have to hop on this register. Because, you know, I done already explained, if you really don't understand English, it sounds like a personal issue. So I'm clocking out. I'll be back after my lunch, and that's that. So, okay, what's the next conversation, bitch? Because it's not going to go down. And that's just the long and short. I mean, am I crazy?